because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Completion left side to Miller. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
Play clock winding down. On second down, here's Miller. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
And they get 14 yards there and a first down.
It went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They'll run it with a fullback Prosh. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They come up in an offset eye. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now Osweiler on second down, looking for someone to throw to. That is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
On second down, Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. On fourth, they do snap it to Prescott. And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. On first down, Osweiler. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
And the pitch goes to Miller. And they'll get him down right about the 20. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. The play clock's running down. Now it's Osweiler. And that is incomplete. Back now in Arlington. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And it's off the crossbar. Oh, he couldn't even get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within 1 score.
Yeah, that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the 4th quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to a Dallas first down. Throwing, Prescott trying to lay one. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. Des Bryant, 60 yards. And now the Cowboys are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves? For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterback, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker, and on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
Now Osweiler, the hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Miller, the lone setback. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. All right, so the call stands. Tough now. They're out of challenges. Do you like the amount of challenges they have in the NFL?
I do, because I think it brings a little extra strategy into the game about a head coach trying to determine when is the right time to pull the challenge flag, or maybe I let that one pass because I might need it later on in a bigger situation.
And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Here we go.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Throwing, Osweiler going up top. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 45 yards. And the Texans have broken the tie. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Looking to throw. Prescott. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 30.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the offense has it 1st and 10.